Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to help you unpack what's really happening in the southern Arizona real estate market.
Yeah, lots of numbers flying around.
Exactly. We've got the latest stats here from MLSAZ, also the Tucson Association of Realtors TAR, and the Green Valley Sahuarita Association, GVSAOR.
And this is all fresh data, right? As of June 5th, showing the activity for May 2025.
That's right. And well, it paints a pretty interesting picture, doesn't it?
It really does. These reports, they're our best look at the recent shifts. And what's fascinating, I think, is connecting the dots between all these different metrics, across the different regions to really get a feel for the current dynamic for buyers and sellers too.
Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with the kind of the big picture, the overall MLSSEZ data for May.
Right.
So the median sale price across the whole region landed at $360,000.
Okay.
And what really stands out here is, well, that's down 2.7% compared to May of last year.
Right. Yeah. A noticeable dip year over year in that median price. And if you look at the pace of sales, the number of actual closed sales was 1,498 in May.
Which is down 8.4% from last year.
Exactly. And the total sales volume, the dollar amount, also dropped, down 6.8% to about $664 million. So just less activity overall, really.
Fewer homes selling, total money changing hands is down, and the median price saw a decrease compared to a year ago. Okay, so how quickly are homes actually moving?
Well, they're definitely taking longer to sell, the Indian days on market.
Mm,
That's the typical time for listing to contract, right?
yeah,
That was 28 days in May.
which is up a full week, 7 days longer than last May.
Yeah, full week. And interestingly, the average percent over asking price was actually negative. It was 1.79%.
So selling slightly below asking on average.
Which is, a bit more of a dip compared to last year when they were selling closer to the list price.
Okay, so the overall MLS SAZ picture for May 25, it seems to show a market where the pace is slowing down.
Definitely.
Homes need more time to find a buyer, and prices, on average, are a bit softer than a year ago.
Exactly. And you see this reflected in the months of supply figure, too,
Ah.
which tells us, how long it take to sell everything currently listed at the current sales pace. For MLSAZ, that number was 3.72 months in May.
Okay, 3.72 months. So still below what many consider like a truly balanced market, maybe 5 or 6 months.
Right. Still technically favors sellers slightly, but it's higher than we've seen in the past few really intense years. It points to the market shifting, moving away from that extreme seller's advantage we saw.
That 3.72 months is, yeah, that's key context. Now, let's drill down a bit because the story does change when you look at specific areas. Let's take the Tucson Association of Realtors, TAR. Their data for May shows a median sale price of $372,961.
Okay, so higher than the overall median.
Higher, and interestingly, it's only down 0.5% year over year. Much smaller drop.
Yeah, that's quite a contrast. Tucson's median price held, well, much steadier than the overall region. They did see sales numbers drop, though. 1,332 sales, which was down 9.0% from last year. So similar drop in activity volume as the region overall.
Days on market.
A bit quicker in Tucson proper. Median days on market was 26 days.
Okay, so Tucson. Smaller price dip, similar slowdown in sales activity, homes taking a bit longer but still moving faster than the regional average. Got it. Now let's pivot to Green Valley Sahuarita Association of Realtors, GVSAOR. Their May data tells a very different story on price.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Their median sale price was $330,000.
Lower than Tucson, lower than the overall median, but...
But it was actually up 1.5% from the previous year in Green Valley Sahuarita.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how did prices go up there when sales volume dropped so dramatically?
Exactly, that's the question. Their number of sales was only 166. That's a huge drop, down 21.7% year over year.
22% fewer sales, basically, but the median price ticked up. And what about days on market there?
Much longer. Median days on market was 43 days.
43 days. That's, yeah, considerably higher than Tucson's 26 and the overall 28.
Big difference. It really highlights that while the median price increased, those homes in GVSAR took much, much longer to find buyers in May.
So maybe different types of properties moving or different buyer pools?
Could be. Different pressures in that specific submarket, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, if we connect this back to supply and demand, just looking at the new activity in May.
Right, new listings versus new contracts.
Yeah, MLSA saw about 2,200 new listings, but only about 750 new pending sales contracts accepted.
Okay.
Tucson had almost 2,000 new listings, but only 12,245 new pendings. And Green Valley Sahuarita, 220 new listings versus 170 pendings.
So across the board, new listings are outpacing new pending sales.
Correct. That gap combined with the increasing days on market trend we saw everywhere.
28 days overall, 26 in Tucson, 43 in GVSAR.
And that 3.72 months of supply figure we talked about earlier, it all reinforces this picture. We're seeing a market with, let's say, more available homes taking longer to sell relative to the pace of buyer demand compared to, the last few years.
Okay, so let's try and summarize what these reports are telling us about Southern Arizona for May 2025. Overall activity, it's slowing down year over year.
Yep, fewer sales, lower volume.
Homes are generally taking longer to sell. The market's moving maybe closer towards balance from a supply standpoint.
Getting there, yeah, closer.
But the price trends are really varied, aren't they? The overall median price, down slightly.
Down 2.7%.
Tucson held relatively steady, down just 0.5%.
Right.
While Green Valley Sahuarita actually saw a modest increase in median price, up 1.5%, despite that really sharp drop in sales and much longer selling times.
It's definitely a nuanced picture, not just one single market trend across the board.
Absolutely not. Which leaves us with a thought for you. What do these really varied dynamics across different parts of Southern Arizona tell us about the diverse pressures and maybe preferences that are shaping what buyers are willing to pay and what sellers can realistically expect right now?
A lot to think about there.
Indeed. That's been our deep dive into the latest Southern Arizona real estate stats.